Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. When I first lost my 45 pounds, I was obviously really happy, but my body didn't look like I thought it would at all. I was smaller and healthier, but I was kind of soft and squishy, and I just wanted to see more definition in my arms, legs, and belly. My body has changed a lot since then, so I wanted to share the 6 things I do every day that took me from this to this and help me get lean and toned. If you really want to see your body transform beyond just losing fat, these 6 habits are non-negotiables. And when I started doing them every day, my results completely changed. And the 5th one is one most women overlook. But when I started consistently doing this every day, I saw a decrease in my belly fat and my energy totally improved. So let's get into it. If you're trying to lose fat, get lean, or just look more toned, I made this video for you. So do me a favor, hit the like button if this video helps. That tells me to make more content like this and helps other women just like you find our community. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my weekly videos to help you on your health and fitness journey. Plus, I do giveaways every week for my subscribers. All you have to do is be subscribed and drop a comment on the video down below each week. I'll share our winners over in the post channel, so go check it out to see if you won. This first one I will talk about until my final breath because it is so important for all women, but especially once we start hitting our 30s, 40s, and beyond, and that is eating high protein, nutrient-dense foods with the right timing. If you watched my video last week about what I ate to lose 45 pounds, I shared about how important it is to be in a caloric deficit in a healthy way to actually lose fat. And as you're trying to get lean and toned, that's still important, but that protein becomes even more important to make sure you're able to maintain and add muscle mass. And I'm not talking about getting bulky. That takes like concerted effort in a huge caloric surplus. I'm just saying to be able to see some muscle definition and like all of your hard work paying off. Protein's gonna help you build that lean muscle. More lean muscle means more fat burning, calorie burning, even at rest. So what do? Aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. That looks like a scoop of LSF protein powder, which is like the best because you're not gonna get bloated. It's easy to digest, especially in the morning for any of my girlies who are not morning eaters. A scoop of protein is gonna give you that 20 grams. If you're talking about your foods, think about a chicken breast that's about the size of your palm. That's around 4 or 5 ounces. That's gonna give you around 30 grams of protein. Do that 4 to 5 times a day. You need to have at least a baseline of 100 grams of protein. I actually have a free protein calculator I'll link below if you want to see exactly how much you should have, but at a minimum, you should be hitting 100 grams. Eating a high protein diet and nutrient dense foods, meaning foods that have a lot of nutrients. These nutrient dense foods are going to help you feel fuller. They're going to help you with recovery, muscle growth, metabolism, hormone balance. These are crucial for getting the results we want to get. But one thing when it comes to timing, I really like to try to front load my protein, especially in earlier hours of the day, as well as my carbohydrates. Those are like the most important too, as far as energy for our workouts and recovery. So try to get a lot of protein early on in the day. The other thing it's gonna do is help you to make sure that your mind is focused on protein. So you keep that as a priority throughout the day, but it also helps if you get later into the evening, maybe you have a lighter dinner or you forget to have as much protein, you know that you've been covered by getting it early on. Habit 2 is actually one that I made a goal starting in 2025 to really focus on. It's always been a part of my life, but not in a super intentional, meaningful way, and that is walking. But I'm not just saying like go for a little stroll. I'm saying intentionally hitting 10,000 steps a day. Honestly, my goal has been 12,000, which takes time, and I am working from home so I can work on my treadmill, I know. But getting in as many steps as you possibly can is going to be the ultimate hack as you are trying to lean out and get more tone, and here's why. So many of us are like, okay, I got my strength in, I got this, like I did my workout at the end, I don't have time for anything else. But what we're missing out on with intentionally getting those steps in is NEAT. NEAT basically refers to non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is the calories that we burn just existing in life. So that could be walking, fidgeting, going to the bathroom, like we're burning calories all day long that we don't really account for. And if you can increase that with something as light and easy as walking, we're not like power walking even, just like a stroll, you're gonna burn so many more calories every single day, and it's gonna help that fat just start to peel off. The other thing that's so important about walking is it helps with our digestion. So one of those things, if you are feeling bloated or puffy, or you're not like leaning out or seeing it the way you wanna see it, that could be a part of it. So getting those steps in is gonna help improve your digestion as well, which is a huge benefit. When I first started my journey, I started with walking because that's what I knew I could do. And then I added in some of the other things, and some that we'll even talk about today. But one thing I've noticed now that I've been more intentional with it, if I don't get my steps in, I feel way more bloated. I feel like it's a lot harder for me to burn fat and like lose fat on my body, and I just feel more sluggish overall. The third thing that I really did that has made all the difference, if you're looking for more of that toned look, not just like lean, not just not puffy and soft, you need to be strength training 3 times a week at least. Doing the cardio is gonna help get rid of the excess fat and just help you lean out, but the strength training is what's really gonna give you more of that toned look. If you guys have done my Move app programming, you see this in there. So I have 3 days that are dedicated to strength, and then I have 3 days that are more cardio based days, but there are like hundreds of videos to choose from in there that all actually have strength components in them, unless it's just like a yoga or something. And so for me, I'm typically training 3 to 4 times a week now at this point in my journey. It really makes all the difference in how your body's going to adapt and how you're going to be able to really see the best results. And think of it like this: cardio is like renting a house. So you kind of just keep paying into it all the time, and you like do it and you're burning calories while you're doing that exercise. Strength training is more like an investment property. You are investing this time in there, and when you do that, you get to live in it all the time. At some point it'll be paid off and you'll still get to reap the benefit. And that's what strength training does, because although you don't burn as many calories while you're strength training, building that muscle, like I said, is going to help you burn more all the time, even when you are at rest, even when you are sleeping. You need those strength days. Most important thing when you're strength training, besides the amount of days you're doing, is to make sure you are doing compound exercises, but also really focusing on progressive overload. I've talked about this in so many videos, but it's the idea that every time you go and do something, whether it's a squat, a bicep curl, whatever, every time you do that, you are trying to go harder and do more. So what happened when I started strength training 3 times a week, my body tightened up, I started losing fat faster, and I actually got that toned look start to like pop through. All right, we have a couple more. I can't wait to share number 5, because like I said, it's one that most women just totally miss and don't think are that important and neglect all the time, but it's a game changer. But so is number 4. I didn't really get into this one until the last 5 years or so, where I really started caring about it, and that is taking the right supplements to support your muscle recovery, your fat loss. We need to have the right ones in play to really have the optimal results. I will always be the girl that will tell you to try to get all of your nutrients from your whole foods first, but it is really hard. Having the right supplements to support your results is gonna be a game changer. Even with a great diet, we need the right supplements to help us building muscle, burn fat more efficiently, have better energy, and balance out our hormones. I take a lot of supplements because I have a lot of different things I'm working on, but there are 5. If you're like, where do I even start? I think these 5 are really gonna be like the most crucial in making the biggest difference. One we can go through real fast, that's protein. Like I said, you should be getting 100 to 150, like in that range probably for most women. Great protein powder is gonna be helpful to like supplement that in. Obviously, Love Sweat Fitness Plant Protein is my go-to. I'll link that for you guys if you wanna check out my protein, but get a protein in, make sure it has at least 20 grams of protein. The second supplement is one that you definitely get from foods, but probably not enough, and that's an omega-3. Omega-3s help support fat metabolism. They also reduce inflammation and speed up muscle recovery. So these are all things we want if we are strength training, we're doing the cardio, we're working out, we're trying to get that physique and that tone. You're gonna need something to really help your body do that. The third one is creatine, and this is one that has become way more widely talked about recently, and here's why. For years and years and years, the research has all been done with men until more recently. There's been a lot more scientific studies that are focused on women and women's health. So creatine has always been kind of big in the bodybuilder space, and a lot of people shied away from it for women because we were scared it was gonna make us bloated and didn't really know the benefits or get bulky. None of that, you guys. There are such incredible benefits, and genuinely, I think all women should be taking this, whether you are lifting super heavy or not. Creatine is gonna help you get that energy to the muscles you need when you are strength training, but it's gonna help speed up recovery, it's gonna help keep your metabolism high, and there are numerous studies on all the benefits for our cognition, brain function, longevity, decreased rates of Alzheimer's, and there's so much that it does for us as women, and it is an amazing supplement. It is one that like I said, I think we all should be taking. All you need is 5 grams a day. I like to take a scoop of mine with Wing Woman in my water during my workout. That's gonna be the best time to take it and really get the most out of it. You might notice a little bloaty water retention the first like 1 to 3 days. That will go away and even out once you're taking it daily. But then if you're experiencing that, just take Bloat Begone, because I just created Bloat Begone for this very reason. That's not one of the supplements I have listed here, but it is one I take daily because it has helped me so much with reducing water retention, my digestion, helping can break down the fats and carbs and proteins to allow my body to actually use them right and then not leave me bloated. The next one I have is L-glutamine. L-glutamine is really great for muscle recovery. It helps support gut health too. It's just another one of those that I think that you should have in the mix if you're trying to add in supplements to really support your overall like fat loss and toning. And the last one is electrolytes, and electrolytes are easy. You can just get some sea salt, sprinkle it in your water, do that first thing in the morning to help hydrate your body, or throughout the day. You can get the little electrolyte pack. Whatever works for you, just make sure they don't have sugar in them if you're using the pack. So what happens when you get these supplements in the mix? You're able to recover faster, your body burns more fat while holding onto and still building lean muscle. It helps reduce inflammation and keeps you energized. So all a big win-win. Number 5, all of the ladies out there, all the girls who stay up really late and wake up too early, all the ones who are lacking sleep, tossing and turning, stressing throughout the night, we gotta get you to prioritize that deep sleep and recovery time. If you're not sleeping at least 7 hours a night, your body's gonna hold on to more fat. You're gonna have increases in cortisol levels. Your stress levels are going to be higher. You're gonna crave more junk food. And that cycle that keeps pulling you back and not forward in your goals is gonna continue to happen. This has to be a number 1 priority. You have to figure out how to get those 7 hours in, because you could be putting in all the work. You could be getting all the protein, working out, strength training 3 times a week, getting your 10,000 steps, doing everything, but then you're a stress ball and not sleeping all night. You wonder why you're not getting the result. That sleep is one of the most important things for our recovery, for our body to be able to build the muscles in our body, to burn fat. We need that time. So I'm telling you right now, I need you to commit to me to figure out how to give yourself at least 7 hours. I take Slumber Party most nights now to make sure I can get into that deep sleep, to actually have that recovery time and give myself those 7 to 8 hours. My goal is always 8, but 7 hours is a minimum. All right, number 6 is kind of tied back to number 1 a little bit, and that is hitting my macros and staying consistent without doing any kind of crazy dieting. Having an idea of how much protein you need and how much carbs you need, what fats you need to actually get results is really important. So that doesn't mean you have to track them crazy. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is going too hard, too extreme, too fast. So you're like, I'm gonna do a 1,200 calorie diet. It doesn't work that way. You have to really be in a healthy caloric range. Trying to at least at a minimum pay attention to how much protein you're getting. That can make all the difference. So if you need some guidance, I definitely would recommend checking out the meal plan. They're a healthy caloric deficit. It's gonna give you the right amount of macros to help you see those results while still staying like full and satiated and feeling good and keeping your hormones balanced. But the other thing I really think is super important about this is to make sure that you are not focused on cheat days. And here's why. I personally think having cheat days is just as mentally detrimental as stressing about counting every single calorie. For me, at any point, if I had that, then I'm spending my whole week thinking about this time where I'm gonna just like let go. And one, you can end up overdoing it and just completely ruining any type of healthy deficit you were in during the week, so you're not gonna see results. But you're also then like putting all this junk in your body that's not gonna make you feel good. It's not gonna like push you towards your goals of getting leaner and more toned. And it just continues to mess with your brain, and you're still kind of being ruled by food. While you're probably in a deficit to lean out and get a little more toned and lose some fat, what happens when you're able to do that is you start to lose the weight a bit more effortlessly because you're not stressed about all these things. Your body's actually using that food for fuel, and you're able to recover, lose fat, and feel really good. All right, girls, so those are my 6 non-negotiables to take me from like 45 pounds overweight to a healthier weight, but still kind of like soft and not really like exactly where I wanted to go, all the way to where I'm at today. I can't wait to hear which one of these you feel like is the most important for you to add into your routine. So drop a comment down below. Let me know which one you're gonna start today. Commit today. Let's commit to each other. We're in this together. Let's hold each other accountable. And if you see anyone else who is doing the same thing as you, comment on their comment as well so we can all connect and really be that support system. Also, if you need a little extra help kind of where to get started, especially when it comes to eating, I have a free 3-day meal plan. All you have to do is drop your email in the link below. I'll send that to you, and it's just a really great place to understand what your day should look like, how to build your plate so you can stay consistent and get results. All right, girls, I love you so much. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I have new videos every week. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.